Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Astro Pillars Astrology. My name's Samuel Dudgeon, I'm a practitioner of Chinese medicine and an astrologer, and I'm going to talk about herbs today. And I haven't talked about herbs on my channel yet, so I'm going to introduce two herbs which I think are absolutely key for health and vitality. Now, as usual, if you like my stuff, hit like, subscribe if you like, feel free to do those kind of things. And by all means, search my website too. I've got a lot of things, blogs, things related to my course on Chinese astrology, and of course my book on Chinese astrology for those interested in that. But today I want to talk about two herbs that I think are absolutely key and fundamental for health cultivation. And one of the ones I use and primarily for myself as a herbal tonic all the time is nettle tea. And the old stinging nettle. And I think nettle is an amazing, amazing herb. It is extremely good. It's ruled by the planet Mars. So it's very good, in my opinion, for clearing fire toxin. And it is very good for cleaning the blood. And I think the blood is a very difficult thing to clean once it becomes very toxic. Unless, of course, herbs is one way, and then obviously you need the piercing needle with acupuncture in terms of bleeding and clearing vessels, which is absolutely critical. And I talked a little bit about that for those who missed that on my blood concepts in medical astrology, which I'll be doing a few others and expanding a little bit more on that subject. But I think nettle tea is absolutely key for health cultivation, and I'll tell you why. It's slightly bland, bitter, and cool. So it's very neutral, and it's a cool herb to take because it doesn't really interfere with the body's temperament so much. It's not too hot, not cool, too heating or too cooling. So it's quite neutral in terms of the elements associated with it. It's also extremely, extremely good for low energy and fatigue. So it brightens the chi, it brightens the mind, and from a Chinese medical point of view, it clears dampness, which is really good. And damp is a kind of symptom we feel when we start feeling very tired and run down. The body feels heavy, lethargic, this kind of thing. Extremely, extremely good for eczema and skin problems. So anyone with a skin problem on top of obviously treatment, because skin problems primarily in Chinese medicine are considered fire toxin. It can be connected to blood and blood deficiency. There's a lot of things, I won't get right into that because that's really complex, but there can be a number of factors. But generally as a tonic, nettle tea is the one to go to for the skin because it's full of iron, vitamin A and vitamin C, and chlorophyll. And as we know, chlorophyll cleans the blood, which will help clean. Anything that clears the blood will help clear the skin. And so, like I said, very, very good for fatigue and low energy, which a lot of people are suffering from now. So for those who are, grab a good source of organic nettle and drink at least 3 cups a day. Sometimes in clinic I make up tincture, I make up a liter of it or so, and I just chip away at it all day. It's great, keeps the mind really clear, and keeps your energy levels up. So another interesting thing about this, so the juices of the nettle you can use externally on warts. I haven't done this so much in clinic, but I've told a few patients to do, and they found it really helpful in conjunction with some cell salts. It's very good because anything that increases energy is going to increase yang, right? So, and I guess there's a yang component to, obviously it's ruled by Mars, and Mars is all libido, will, and energy. So we need this increase in yang, which will obviously help thyroid function, because thyroid function in Chinese medicine is yang deficiency. When we're tired all the time, we can't put on weight, we're losing weight, this kind of thing. And so, very good for that. Anyone who has that, anyone who is diabetic, this is really good because it cleans the sugar out of blood. which is really important. And also the juice of the nettles, funnily enough, because they call it stinging nettle, which is really appropriated. They've put the planet Mars to this, right? Because Mars rules weaponry and sharp instruments, needles and things like this, right? So the nettle's got the needles in it, stinging. But you don't know, the juice of the nettle actually is an antidote for the sting, which is interesting. So there's many ways to prepare this in tinctures and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into all that. I just want you to give you guys a quick rundown of what you can take, because a lot of people are suffering from low energies at the moment, and it's not a good thing because it's becoming more and more prevalent. And it's just, herbs, when you understand the basics of herbs, you can really cultivate your health really well. Now, another really, really fantastic herb, which is my one, probably number one go-to when fatigued and tired, low energy. But you got to remember too, right? There's certain things with herbs, right? Tonics you only have when you're healthy. You don't really have them when you're sick, and the reason why is because if you're having a strong tonic, say a lot of people have astragalus or things like this as really strong raising function herbs, but if you've got a pathogen or something like this, right, and you're sick, it may strengthen it. So this is why in Chinese medicine we don't usually have tonics. We give herbs to clear whatever it is going on, and you usually have tonics when you're healthy, right, to help increase your vitality. So there's a Chinese herb called Jiao Gulan, and I'll write the Latin name in the description below so people know. This herb is phenomenal. When I did my clinical studies and my mentor, when I was doing a master's in my herbal medicine, my mentor treated a lot of cancer patients, and this is one of his go-to herbs for this. And I would say this herb actually is, it's slightly bitter, it's cold, but it enters the heart and lung channels. So there is a Martian aspect to this, because this herb is very, very good at clearing heat, inflammation, and eliminating toxin. So it does clear fire toxin, and cancer and this kind of thing is considered a fire toxin in Chinese medicine. So this is one really, really phenomenal herb for this. And it's not that commonly known among Chinese, I find here in Australia anyway. Chinese herbalists very seldom use this, but you can get the teas. The teas are really good. It has a very good, it moistens the lungs and promotes the generation of fluids as well, and dispels phlegm. This is a really important thing, because phlegm is a major problem with people, and also a lot of problems in chronic health problems in Chinese medicine. And when we talk about phlegm, there's two types, right? There's the substantial phlegm you cough out, and there's the invisible phlegm, right, that causes derangement of the psyche and pain in the body. There's a difference between the two, and it's really important to understand those two. But this herb it's a wondrous herb. It also lowers blood pressure and will clear cholesterol out of the vessels as well. So it is one of the best immune tonics you can have. And as the tea, I drink it quite a lot. It's a very, very good tea. It's good if you can get an organic source. I don't know many people who do. Oh wow, that's a pretty loud cocky flying over my house there. I don't know. You can get an organic source. I know that there's a gentleman over in the States who's a brilliant guy, Bear Lando, I think his name is. I think he cultivates and grows Jiao Gulan himself. I saw one of his podcasts. It was great. I was really surprised, and it's great to see someone really, really onto it with this herb. So he does grow it I think he's in Hawaii, as far as I know. I'm not sure, but I saw one episode when he was talking about this herb, and I 100% agree with him. It is absolutely one of the best. It will really, really give you a lot of energy and a lot of vitality. So for those of you who are struggling with chronic illness and chronic health problems, yeah, definitely get one of these, a batch of Jiao Gulan. It's phenomenal. It has a pretty wild taste too, but you get used to it. And but yeah, one of the best herbs for the immune system. And in combination with others, of course, I can't go into this because this is kind of really deep herbal medicine territory. But yeah, it's phenomenal. And I combine it a lot with, some of my herb formulas as well. But Jiao Gulan, people, never forget it because it is a really important herb. So I'll write the Latin name below. I just wanted to share my take on these two main herbs that I use for myself personally, for my own health cultivation, my patients, and want to get the word out. And if you guys like this, I'll expand a little bit more because there's so many other great herbs, as we know. And the astrological correspondence is really gives us clues to how they operate. And yeah, and herbs is just a wondrous, wondrous subject, and it is phenomenal. And I think anything that really absorbs light, I think the Celts have this, saying that, well, they have a saying that if a herb grows in your own backyard, you should be taking it, if it's in your own vicinity. And that's why we have dandelion growing up on everyone's property, right? Everyone needs that to clear the liver and all that kind of thing. But anything that absorbs sunlight is really, really important. And yeah, so this is a great way to cultivate your health. Understand, do your own homework on these herbs. It's really good. And like I said, I'll write the Latin name in the description below. And thanks for listening, guys. And we'll be back soon.